Senate President, sir, what is your net worth? At least we know the net worth of Pope Francis. What is the net worth of the Senate President in Nigeria today?
Forget the fact that Apabio is one of the worst Senate presidents ever. He's also one of the most insensitive, one of the dullest politicians we've had. Because some things that Akpabio says from his mouth, I want to be able to go through to say, Akpabio, what is your foundation like? Unfortunately, Akpabio is one person that should not be talking. If you ask him, Akpabio should keep quiet. And
guys, welcome back to Local Man Reality. Our Senate President will say poverty is not a crime. Now, many Nigerians don't ask question. Since poverty is not a crime, and the late Pope you go see get only $100 for in account, can we see your account balance? Because you see, poverty is not a crime. It's an opportunity. Let me even put it that way. Now, since poverty is not a crime, and you talk say the account balance will remain for the Pope account before he buy $100. Nigeria they ask, show us your account balance. Show us how much it be the trip we carry in a good day come back. So that we will know say in a day transparent. Based on you want to deliver like the Pope we buy, then as a good leader, lead the way we'll follow you. At least show the example. When I hear waiting the question we Nigeria need to ask this man.
Senate President Chief Godswill Akpabio, Your Excellency, sir, we welcome you back from the burial of Pope Francis in Rome as you lead part of Nigeria delegation to Rome to attend the burial of the Pope. And also the interview where you grant, where you say that poverty is not a crime and that poverty is a good virtue. Where we say we as Nigerians are supposed to fit, copy and emulate the life of the late Pope Francis as he lived and died as a poor man. Where we say his entire net worth was just $100. And that is the kind sacrifice where we fit to make as a people. Well, Your Excellency Senate President, coming from you, the number 3 citizen in the country, in a government where we say under 2 years of this administration, una don't turn your renewed hope into pushing Nigerians into more poverty and hopelessness. That statement is quite interesting. But Your Excellency, it go also good for us to fit ask you as our leader, since you want to give us the moral lessons from the life of Pope Francis. It good as we know the net worth of Pope Francis. So make we even ask una, if not be say na see finish, where be say una as Nigerian leaders una don't see us finish. Mr. Senate President, sir, what is your net worth? At least we know the net worth of Pope Francis. What is the net worth of the Senate President in Nigeria today? Have you declared your assets according to the Code of Conduct Tribunal guidelines to declare assets as a public office holder? What exactly, how much be the cost of that travel where una carry the entire entourage wey come out from Nigeria go Rome? How much it cost Nigerian taxpayer for all of una wey carry una self go that burial? Where be say one person or two for fit go, the whole of that contingent, like say una been they go Olympic, how much it cost Nigeria to go? Can we have the level of transparency and accountability where be say Pope Francis said been they try to bring into the Vatican? How much exactly be the salary of a senator in Nigeria today? For Nigeria, the senator go talk say, our salary is about 700,000, it's about 900. How much exactly is the take home of a lawmaker in Nigeria today? From Nigeria taxpayers' money, it is still a secret. Where we say if any senator even try to come outside, can't talk him, they will use the rod on top of that senator. But now the life of Pope Francis, not all of us with a copy. So since poverty is not a crime and it is a virtue we should commit to, Mr. Senate President, share you know what is poverty? Have you lived a life of poverty? And which other aspect of Pope Francis' life where you as our leader, as our Senate President, which part of his life you also they imbibe and they copy and you they put into practice? Senate President, sir, this is the convoy where they carry you as a Senate President since you come into office. This is the convoy that carries the Senate President. The poverty now for we, the citizens, now we be the subsidy for the rich. So make we the sacrifice, they live in poverty while you live in luxury and affluence. So my dear Senate President, sir, do you know what is poverty? You were former commissioner in Akpabio. You become 8 years governor. By 2015, you contested and went to Senate. On arriving Senate for first time, you became Senate minority leader. In 2018, you defect, say you dey go join Buhari to fight corruption in APC. As you join them to fight corruption, suddenly your own EFCC cases also disappear. 2019, you lost your re-election back to the Senate. You were made Minister for Niger Delta Affairs. Under your administration as Minister for Niger Delta, there is no kind of allegation when it comes to money laundering and other source of misappropriation where we know here from the former NDDC boss, which is Dr. Joy Nunye. We not forget the issue of the hearing for House of Reps of Honorable Minister Off Your Mic, where we say the former acting director or managing director of NDDC, Professor Pondo, say he faints. Till today, nobody hear anything. And then you came back now in 2023 and you have become Senate President. As Senate President, which part of Pope Francis' life you they use in your administration? Are there still checks and balances going on in this Senate, or the Senate under your watch has become an APC town hall? It has become an extension of the legislative arm of the executive arm of government. Where we say one senator come say that the 10th Senate is not opposition friendly. That is under your watch as you imbibe the life of Pope Francis. The Senate is not opposition friendly. What happened to Senator Natasha when she come out to raise allegation against you? In the spirit of Pope Francis, did you say you are going to recuse yourself of your position and let an independent inquiry be taken into those allegations, or you rather suspend and withdraw in security, stop in salaries? See, dear Senate President, sir, we not go fit the pick the part of Pope Francis life where you want learn and then the one where Nigerians they go imbibe. It should be a total package. If you want to be the moral compass of the society, then it should begin with you, sir. You have to lead by example. Other than that, that statement is most unfortunate and disgusting and reprehensible. It is an insult to hardworking Nigerians where they work day and night for a minimum wage of 70,000 naira, when no fit afford to buy a bag of rice in this economy, for you to come and preach to us and tell us that poverty is not a crime. Well, Senate President, poverty may not be a crime, but poverty can be a precursor for crimes and criminality. And part of the reason why Nigeria they struggle with the high level of crime is due to the poverty, illiteracy, and bad governance that has been provided for by your class and leaders like yourself. The kind of reckless and irresponsible leadership when Nigerians don't suffer is why there is so much crime, due to the poverty that your government has pushed more Nigerians into. And then when somebody come out, come talk, say, why will they go to Rome instead of going to go and visit people that have been killed in Plateau and the rest? They say, make it come out, come apologize. So you people want to threaten all of us so that nobody go fit come out, come speak up for Nigeria. May God help Nigerians. But Mr. Senate President, if truly you want to copy the life of the Pope, you go begin by building a free and fair election for 2027. That electoral reform, we go come visit you, so that as you dey study and follow the life of Pope Francis, you go follow him to reform INEC, so that we as Nigerian youth, we go fit in the spirit of Pope Francis lesson, pick our leaders and ensure we get competent people who have the character of Pope Francis into office. May God bless you, sir, and may the spirit of Pope Francis continue to rest in peace. God bless Nigeria. My name is Peter for Nigeria.
Akpabio. You just go Vatican, just they come, they give food for thought, quote to quote. You just they talk. Poverty is not a crime. Akpabio, Abi, you know I've always said it. If forget the fact that Akpabio is one of the worst Senate presidents ever, he's also one of the most insensitive, one of the dullest politicians we've had. Because some things that Akpabio says from his mouth, I want to be able to go through to say, Akpabio, what is your foundation like? Unfortunately, Apabio is one person that should not be talking. If you ask him, Apabio should keep quiet. And as a governor, I think he did well as governor of Akwa Ibom State. And I'm sure that the reason why we were able to appreciate that we're not listening to him, because this guy talks anyhow. He speaks as somebody that doesn't. And like Odige Oyegun said of Adamso Shomole years back, that Apabio may not just be in that Wasagro people that engages their mouth before they engage their brain. So suddenly poverty is not a crime, but you are living large. You are doing well. You'll be making money. There are corruption charges against you from all of your activities. This Senate president, now when you come on now to where you were governor of Akwa Ibom State, there are issues that when you were in Niger Delta Ministry. So obviously there are issues that are against you. Yet poverty is not a crime, but you have been stealing money from every office that you have been to. Poverty is not a crime. Poverty is not a crime, Apabio. You have not rested From politics since 2007, you are not retired from politics, Akpabio. Is this service that's making you stay this long? 2007, Akpabio, you have been active in Nigerian politics. Yes. Akpabio, yet. Since 2007. That is what, when you became, for you to have become a governor in 2007, it meant that you were even active in Nigerian politics. Yet, Akpabio, poverty is not a crime. Poverty is not a crime, Akpabio. And there are people that listen to people like this and they count them what this one is a father or a mentor to people, is an inspiration to people. These are people that by all means they should be extricated, they should be alienated, they should be removed. Akpabio, having you in the history books of this country as one of those that have been political figures to the point where Senate President will be the greatest disservice to this country. May God Almighty forgive anybody that will count you as in the history of this book. May God forgive them. Because only the mercy of God can keep that kind of person. Poverty is not a crime. Because you want to make a useless illustration to say that. So the rest of us should live in poverty while you live in luxury. You can fly wherever you are going to. You have money to secure yourself. But you have not visited Kwara. You have not visited Benue. You have not visited Kaduna. You have not visited Plateau. You have not visited Borno since you became Senate President as the third man. You have not sat down to look at the ministries that are responsible to reaching out to the poor and the underprivileged in this country. To say that let's assume you don't want to even do too much oversight of your institution, which you head, which you marshal and shepherd. Cannot shepherd that thing, of course. Which you figureheads, henchman. You have not even been able to look at the books and say, this guy's even reaching out. What is the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation, Women Affairs, Social Welfare? What are the ministries responsible for IDPs? And what are our defense chiefs? What are they doing? What is our security architecture? What do our people that are saddled with responsibility? You have seen videos of policemen crying for not being equipped enough. You see videos of our military guys complaining that they can defeat these guys, but they are being sabotaged from within. Apabio, as a Senate President, have been done. But you are coming to advise Nigeria that they should remain in poverty. Poverty is not a crime. But you live in luxury. You have been relevant in Nigerian politics for conveniently almost 30 years now, at least. When you became, and I insist, when you became a governor in 2007, there is no way. So, Apabio, you have had all of these monies left in your coffers. And as it was, is 1990 now, that is almost 30 years of Nigerians' existence of the current democratic era. You'll be relevant, so to speak. Yet, poverty is not a crime. The rest of us can go to where are burnt to ashes. But you as a person will continue to live in penury and enjoy your loot. And you're even a thief to make it even worse. If you say you have served in government all of these years, it's a time for you to sit back, reflect, and retire. Let alone you have been accused in every single office you have been to. EFCC is here to. EFCC was supposed to push for your incarceration and imprisonment. You move to a bigger office. Every time there is need for us to for years, we never have EFCC. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Poverty is not a crime. We may lack money, but the only problem that we have that has kept you, Apabio, and the rest of your mates in power is that we have also lacked the will to ensure that we put an end to this criminal structure that you and your friends. One day we'll be rich enough in the will and we'll come for all of you. Keep enjoying. Until then, continue to largesse and enjoy. One day be one day. You get money now, don't worry. God help us.
Take a look at some of the reactions to poverty is a virtue. Jerry said poverty is a virtue from God, said Akpabio, the Senate President of Nigeria. This comment reflects a troubling mindset. It's hard to believe someone in such a position could express such a thought without understanding its implications, especially during these trying times in our dear country. This raises questions about empathy and responsibility. If our leaders were truly dedicated to serving the people, the average Nigerian would be able to live comfortably and meet basic needs of life: food, housing, education. Unfortunately, the reality is quite the opposite. Nigeria is rich in resources, and if they were properly managed, no one will rant. Akpabio should rather focus on controlling. Can I say that word? Yeah, I cannot say that word. I cannot say that word. Rather than saying all of this, a dirty man in and out. Okay, let's move on to the next tweet. K8S tweeted, "Hope the Senate President knows that the Pope gave his $32,000 monthly salary to the needy. He gave out a Lamborghini, giving to him out. He uses his personal money for charity, and the Pope was not indeed poor, but selfless, which is an attribute of a true leader. The Senate President's message is misleading and deceptive. Busayo also tweeted, she said, poverty is not a virtue and not from God. God has given humanity everything we need to be prosperous. Arable land for farming, natural resources everywhere, especially in my country, Nigeria. No state in Nigeria is without resources for the prosperity of her people. Now, I think, Dr. Bati, you'd always talk about context, Vimbai. Context to every statement that is made is key. Now, in the context of what the Senate President was saying, I believe he was talking about the Christian virtue of not being covetous or looking at somebody else's property and longing for your own, being content with what you have. But in a situation where we're in a country that ideally, if people had what they needed, their basic Maslow hierarchy of needs, the basic things that they need to survive, then they can decide to choose whether or not they want to give it out or they want to live a more modest life. But we're in a situation where the people here do not have a choice. They're forced to live a lot of times in abject poverty. In that case, is it truly a virtue then?
Okay, two things. Context that you talked about. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, led the Nigerian delegation to the burial of Pope Francis. And it was in that context that he was talking about poverty. A pope, at the burial of a pope who chose the Jesuit, part of the Catholic Church, the Society of Jesus, it is called, who took a vow of poverty after the fashion example of his patron Saint Assisi, Saint Francis Assisi, and in that regard, the Pope, when he died, his entire patrimony was $100. He said he should bury him in a wooden casket. He was a very humble man. He was a Pope of the poor, a Pope who promoted the prophetic church. I want to think that it is in that context that the Senate President, Godswill Apabio, was talking about poverty can be a virtue, because everybody, praising Pope Franciscus, for the fact that he lived a very simple life. In terms of messaging, yes, we can deal with that. But when the Senate President went further and said poverty is not a crime, if he was speaking in a general sense in that regard, then you can understand when Nigerians are a bit uncomfortable. What does he mean that poverty is not a crime? Is he recommending that Nigerians should be luxuriating in poverty, what is called multidimensional poverty, which even the World Bank and the IMF now say is going to get worse in Nigeria? So the timing of that kind of comment, that poverty is not a crime. So Nigerians will legitimately ask him, does he know what poverty is? He has been commissioner. He has been governor. He is Senate president. He is a political leader. He is leading delegations. You don't go and tell people, who are struggling, going about with these pockets are still empty. We need to help Dr. Avanti's pockets. People like us who are going about with empty pockets, that poverty is not a crime. No, poverty becomes a crime when people in his position describes it as such. Because the responsibility of government is to ensure the welfare of the people, to spread prosperity, to give the people hope. So for a leader coming from a country saying, you can be poor, it's not a crime, be like Pope Francis. No, it's not every Nigerian that wants to have a patrimony of $100. There are people who say that, look, this wealth that belongs to Nigeria, share it equitably. Let us all have access to what is available in this country. So that's where I think that the Senate President may run into trouble, because we see our leaders living it up, everybody enjoying and all of that. And we, the people, we are the ones who have to worry about food inflation. We are the ones who have to worry about NIMET officials. They're down tools because their salaries have not been paid, right? In the FCT, school teachers, nurses, midwives, they went onto the streets to protest. So you go and tell those people that poverty is not a crime. They should enjoy it. No. So that's where the problem is. But as for the delegation, I think it's important. It was good to see Nigerians there, both those led by Senator Akpabio and those who went in their capacity as, Catholics. And now that the conclave is going to convene by May 7th, it's also gratifying to know that one of the cardinals who will choose the next pope will be the Bishop of Ekulobia. The Bishop of Ekulobia, he is 62. It fits into, the age range. You must be below 80 for you to qualify. So Cardinal Opaleke will be representing us, in that conclave. Yeah. So we also have a stake in the future of the Catholic Church.
Absolutely. That's a very important point to note.
Well, very quickly, Kachi, I think it's very important that we don't glamorize poverty because this is a trend that we've seen gain momentum where I believe it's called poverty porn, where we glamorize poverty and we try to make it seem as though, well, this is one of those ills that exists, so we normalize it and we just say, they're the poor. And we speak down on the poor and we speak down on poverty as though those people chose to be in that condition. So to say poverty is not a crime, poverty is a virtue, it's hugely unfair and actually very insulting to those people who are waking up every day to try and do what they can. They work the hardest, by the way, yes, for 70,000 naira. Many are still earning less than that. So to start saying poverty is not a crime, okay, fine. If we're going to have a conversation about some of the virtues that we should emulate, and if we're trying to say that take heart, if you're at the bottom of society, it's not the end of the world, then as a leader, he should start by leading. Let's see him emulate the humility, the prudence, the modesty. Let's see it from him, because just from looking at the pictures of that outing at the Pope's funeral, look at that massive delegation. Was it necessary to have all of those people there for the Pope's burial? Yeah, fine, maybe if they'd gone on their own personal tickets. But you look at this and you say, some nations had a head of state and first lady, and of course the entourage that follows. But Nigeria had this large delegation. You ask yourself, then you now start saying poverty is a crime, and it's just very insulting and very unfair when we have leaders talking down on citizens as if they are not doing their best given the circumstances to try and make ends meet. Of course, poverty is not a crime, but maybe if it's not a crime, then maybe he should just taste it small first to see if, to see if it won't pain him. Because trust me, poverty feels like a crime.
It does.
It feels like, who did you?
It's a burden. It's a heavy one. And to say that just shows that, there's truly a disconnect where you're not really aware of what the people are feeling. But let's